second half underway. The Bobcats of the University of California, Merced, again in Navy, now moving from right to left on your screens. And the Toros of Dominguez Hills, once again in white, now moving from left to right. And we'll see what kind of pressure the Toros bring into this one. Exciting to see what changes they make. Already seeing a substitution at keeper for UC Merced is number 30, Abel Cavillo, the junior keeper from Rohnert Park, transferring in from Santa Rosa Junior College. And Cavillo, this just being his third match of the season, played in 2 early matches for the Bobcats. Took on Jessup back on the 20th of September and Vanguard on the 27th. And played all 90 minutes of both games. Didn't allow only allowed 1 goal on each game. Tallied 3 saves in that time. And now, coming in here in the second half versus the Toros. And again, it'll be interesting to see the changes. And looks like a good bit of substitutions as well from the Toros. Ultimately, trying to see all the new players. It looks like Alpha So back on the pitch, as well as Aldair Marta. But a couple new players, Eduardo Moreno Jr., a.k.a. Junior, getting his first minutes of the game, as well as Justin Faison will get his first time in. And now a player also getting his first time of the season. It's Zach Eichelberger, the senior from Baltimore, Maryland. It was a transfer out of the Community College of Baltimore County. And we have seen Zach out for the entire season so far, still wearing a brace on that right leg, and now getting his first time of the season. And at what a point to do it. As a long cross will fall wide for the Bobcats. And great to see Zach on the pitch. Was watching this team in the preseason and could very much tell that Zach was bummed couldn't be out there with the Toros. Now is here on the biggest stage in Carson, California, and he's looking to take full advantage of that fact. And of course, Zach was a great player over in Baltimore, was recognized as a NJCAA Division II All-American in his time over at the Community College of Baltimore County. And now getting time here for the Toros. And, did play quite a lot last season. Played in 14 games last season, including the Conference Tournament Championship versus Cal Poly Pomona. And now back in 2025, looking to make an impact. Did have 2 goals and an assist last season. And it's great to see him on the pitch here at Dignity Health. As Kenny Lee drops it all the way back. The defensive core staying the same for the Toros. D4 Jinyu, Diego Barahona being those center backs. Lee over at right back, and Polatron over at left back, as well as having Sergio Valenzuela as the center defending midfielder. And it looks like there was a short mix-up between Juan Lara and Eichelberger. Of course, those are the situations that you hate to see momentarily for a player like Zach. Of course, getting his first time after the knee injury, still wearing a brace, and any sort of tangle up can be very, very dangerous, but still moving fluidly as one sent towards the box will be played forward now. Maybe a shot look. No, it's a cross attempt, and D4 not letting that one get any further, as it was Kanesian on the attempt, as it looks like it'll result in a corner, and visible confusion from Kenny Lee as well as the home crowd here in Dignity Health, as that will bring up the third corner of the match for UC Merced. As a shot waving high. And again, did see the substitutions going into the second half on the Merced side, as Abel Cavillo back in. Joey Alvarez, the junior from Whitman, California, getting his first time in. Braxton Fleming, the junior from Redding, California, getting his first time in, as well as seeing Davian Lazarga getting first time, and Jose Vasquez as well, knocked away in the box by Lara. So seeing Coach Albert Martins of the Bobcats switching things up. And of course, down 3-0 going into the second half. And that's one of those things that you just kind of have to try and switch things up to try and catch the Toros off guard, as Eichelberger goes wide to face on, goes back inside. Eichelberger almost breaks through, now collides with a Bobcat, and it's chipped away in. Eichelberger slow to get up. Again, looking to wince slightly under that right knee, and just mentioned how it's, you know, always in that recovery period, and it looks like he is taking his time settling in, as no doubt the coaching staff from the Toro is going to have a close watch on him. But in his first appearance of the season, almost broke through, as this one sent away by Lee. Was some good movement between him and Justin Faison. Justin been another good player to watch. Hasn't gotten too much time. Is the Sacramento State transfer, transferring in from a D1 program. Had 32 appearances over 3 years with them. Was on the Big West All-Freshman team back in 2022 for Sac State, the Hornets, and now, of course, joining the Toros, as this one tipped way towards the stands by Kanesian. As the Toros will settle right back in. Marta crosses it. Looking to have many more looks. And now finding Eichelberger down the wing, drops it right back to Toros. Continue to steady themselves. Now Junior left it in a clean tackle, swiping through from Merced. Dominguez Hills rushing back onto defense. Are able to hold on the transition. Long cross over to Kanesian, and Lee is there, but ends up winning it a little too strongly out of play. And the Bobcats, again, trying to push the pace. They know they obviously have 35 minutes left to go, but down by 3 goals. That 35 minutes looks a lot shorter, as the Bobcats settling back in. Christian Gallo back to Kanesian. Kanesian tries to lead Gallo down to the baseline, will hold it in the corner, being held closely by Marta. Now having to drop it all the way back to Lara. Lara back even further to Casillas. Casillas looking right back down that corner, as Lee will knock it away. Kenny Lee has done a great job adjusting, has always been a midfielder, usually leaning more towards the defensive side. But Coach Soto has been experimenting more and more with him as a defender at that right left back spot, defending those wings, and he has really guarded them carefully. Came off an injury as well in the previous years and has really jumped back, and of course in his senior year saw a lot of fight from Kenny Lee coming into it. Was a great player back in high school as well. Over at Culver City High, was former Ocean League Defensive Player of the Year back in high school, and part of what got him towards the Dominguez Hills program, where he has played soccer since. And now the Toros collapse and no whistle blown. It's called a live ball. It immediately goes up to Eichelberger. Face on, getting swiped away by Bobcats. It'll fall. Justin not trying to let the possession go easily, and there a foul will be called. Looks like he goes straight through Preston Wynn, the junior from Turlock. Again, we have seen a lot more substitutions as a clean takeaway from Junior. Immediately sent right back in. Eichelberger down the pitch is slow to get up again, as you can tell Eichelberger's fatigued and maybe feeling that pain in the right leg, as a clean tackle from Valenzuela, trying to stick with it. Pokes it over to So, back to Valenzuela. Will be stolen away by the Bobcats. Might have a look. Long shot. Sailed just over the top of the bar. And a good look from the Bobcats, but ultimately, again, pulled the trigger early in front of the box. As Politron trying to find his way through immediately, will get support from Junior. Back to So. Drops it back to David, who goes all the way back to Diego. Barahona to Jinyu. Jinyu up to Valenzuela. Sergio puts it to Marta. A bit of a heavy touch, and it will be taken away by multiple Bobcats, who retreat back into their defense. Good press from Eichelberger. Same with Marta, as a foul is going to be called from Marta, and it looks like got tangled up with Lara, and making sure, helping Lara up, as it was not intentional. And it looks like another player set to check in and get their first time for the Toros, as a heavy collision there, and Junior is down. And it looks like trainer might get called out to check on him again. Eddie Moreno Jr., the freshman from Rialto, California. He's back up to his feet, but taking his time. He's back up and will continue moving as he gets an ovation here at Dignity Health Sports Park. Junior, of course, graduating from Bishop Amat Memorial High School, and now playing here at Dominguez Hills, was the 24-25 CIF D1 Southern Section Player of the Year, and as well as San Gabriel Valley Boys Soccer Player of the Year in the same year. And an extremely talented freshman who has lots of room to really develop that talent with his years here at Dominguez Hills, as the Toros settling right back. 14 minutes and a little more gone here in half number 2, and ultimately it's still just been the Toros sitting comfortably out front. Have only seen one shot on the half so far for Merced. But again, that's already matching the only one shot they had in the first half. As that one deflects off of a Toros on the challenge, falls right back to another throw from UC Merced. And again, the Bobcats have had to rebuild quite a bit. We talked about Daniel Borges, the CalPAC Player of the Year, and the NAIA All-American graduating. Also graduating, Xavier Barajas, who was a three-time CalPAC All-Conference player, made the first team 3 years and has since graduated. And he was top 3 in minutes last year as a midfielder. Lost some good defenders as well. As maybe a look for the Bobcats trying across, and Jinyu there to take it away again. Lee heads it out to Alpha. Will have to retreat. Also lost Andres Alonso and Diego Fresquez, who were both CalPAC first-team players last year. Kevin Capatillo, two-time CalPAC second-team player, graduated, and Jesus Enriquez graduated as well, played in all 16 games for the Bobcats last year. Tied for top 3 in goals with 4, had 5 assists. A header knocked again away by Jinyu, falling right back to Lara. And Marta taking control for the Toro, surveying, sprinting upfield, has Eichelberger, tries to push it to him. It's going to be intercepted by Casillas. And UC Merced trying to look for a lane. Kenny Lee shuts off the activation, gives it to O'Brien, who immediately boots it right back past the midfield line, and the header right back out of play as the substitutions check in. Christian Brazeno will go back in as Zach Eichelberger will get his rest, and also getting his first minutes will be Justin Cuevas, the sophomore from Tustin, California. Alpha So will get some rest as well, and it looks like Coach Soto quickly checking in on his captain as well as Eichelberger, as another Toro down back on the other side. And I do believe that is Junior, as it looks like he's getting his right knee checked out. And again, Eddie Moreno Jr. has been a great freshman who has shown a lot of talent. And it looks like he's back up on his own 2 feet as well, carrying his own weight, but making his way slowly towards the sideline. Still getting checked on by the trainers, as it looks like it'll be Davian Karanicolas who will take his spot. So Karanicolas in, the junior from Palmdale will re-enter. Brazeno re-entering as well, and again, Justin Cuevas joining back to the field. And Cuevas, the Concordia University Irvine transfer, had limited time with them last year, but the biggest thing is his time back in high school over at Servite High School. Won team MVP, led his team in all offensive categories, and was recognized as the United Soccer Coaches California Player of the Year, USC All-American, and D1 CIF Player of the Year. Had a huge time in high school and bringing his talents to the college level, as that one quickly booted away from Karanicolas into the seats. But Cuevas, still a young guy in his sophomore year. Lots of time left for him to develop, as the Toros have themselves a great mix of veteran talent and young talent. A lot of transfers as well for Cal State Dominguez Hills this season. As this one sent middle, and now chaos in front. Maybe someone to find a look. Marta might have himself the shot deflected early as the Toros resetting. Lee right back down to face on, trying to find a way through. Going back in the corner, has help as Davian takes it away. And now will be taken back by the Bobcats. Karen Nicholas wins it away. Spinning back to face on. It was being taken in the corner, tries across, can't get the chip there. But pressure from the Toros down this near side wing. As again, 18 new players on the roster this season for the Toros. Only 5 freshmen, but 13 transfers, a huge transfer class for the Toros, and those transfers have been panning out well. Of course, getting some returning players like Alpha So, having Justin Faison, previous transfer. Cameron Belandres, Jason Guzman, Rocco Bond being another big one. Mutar Moskowitz, who we've seen a couple times. Also having players like Gerardo Serna, Giovanni Nieves. Nieves, San Francisco State transfer, and Serna coming out from Santa Ana Community College. Phil Pannell, the keeper from Frankfurt, Germany, transferring in from Briarcliff University. As this one will go off of the center official. And gesturing to the Bobcat, who knocked him with that one. A lot of space he could have gone. As Merced will lose it again. Justin settling down the wing and tries to move it upfield, taken right back. As Brozeno and Karen Nicholas intended to help, this one ripped away. Cuevas running it down. Another substitution ready to go as Valenzuela, a good take. Cuevas looking to break through, fires. It's going to be deflected away by a Merced defender before that shot could get on target. As no shots on goal in the first 20 minutes of this second half for the Toros. As right back down the wing, Kenny Lee will force a throw. Throw immediately. Toss inside the box, and Barahona will force it off a Bobcat, and it'll fall right back to O'Brien as more substitutions. As Jose Pereira, the junior from Torrance, will re-enter. And Mateo Vistesen, the redshirt freshman, will hop onto the pitch. And Vistesen, haven't seen a ton of the sophomore from Menifee, California, coming out of Murrieta Canyon Academy. Again, have seen Vistesen in 5 games this season, this being his 6th. Has averaged just under 30 minutes in the games he has played in, has been getting more time as of late, played the entire second half versus Chico State a week ago, got under 10 minutes versus Humboldt, but still time. Now across from Karen Nicholas towards Cuevas, tried to header it on target. It'll be collected by Calvillo. Again, Calvillo hasn't had to do too much work so far, as the Toros still trying to find a way to him. But ultimately a ton of substitutions in this match for the Toros. Usually don't see numbers like this. for Cal State Dominguez Hills. We've already seen 10 substitutions in this matchup for Cal State Dominguez Hills, and sometimes we've seen just 3 substitutions in a match for the Toros. As Brazeno trying to force the defense off it. Support from Peredia. Now pushed by Nicolas. UC Merced breaking into the offensive, working down this near wing. Canisian, his cross headed away well by D4 Jinyu. And D4 rock solid at that right center back position. No one able to get through, was on the CCAA watch list, and it's very clear why. 4-year senior, was on the all CCAA second team last season. Played in all 21 games last year with 15 starts, had a goal and an assist. And now Cuevas to Brazeno. Brazeno slowing things down, looking for a way through to Davian. Davian slicing his way past the defense, rotating out wide, trying to shake off a defender, will eventually be knocked away by Braxton Fleming, the junior from Reading, as looks like we're going to see Rocco Bon jump back in, and he's going to go in alongside Erlin Gomez, the freshman from Mendota. Both players sporting nice, bright pink cleats, as it looks like Marta will get some rest, maybe showing a little bit of discomfort in the left leg, as Bon will hop in. Again, Bon in his junior year, the midfielder from Lake Forest, California. Already CCAA experience coming from Cal Poly Pomona. Had 19 games for them last year, 2 goals, one of which being a crucial game winner. And then back at J. Sarah Catholic High School, was first team all CIF. Now joining the Toros this season alongside his Cal Poly Pomona transfer teammate in Matar Moskowitz, who's gotten time here and there. Son continuing to set behind Dignity Health Sports Park as the Toros again continue their offense. Nicolas back to Valenzuela. Nicolas again rotates over to Vestessen on the right wing, supported by Cuevas, goes back middle to Davian. Davian fires, and that one way up towards the seats, as 19 minutes left to go, as more substitutions, and it looks like we have another Cal State Dominguez Hills debut, as Jack Parker, the senior transfer from Sonoma State, will get his first minutes in. He'll swap in for Keegan O'Brien. And O'Brien sitting for just the second time this season, and Jack Parker getting his first minutes. Again, Parker, the senior from San Mateo, California, transferring in after his years with Sonoma State. It's great to see Jack with sporting the green, getting his first time this season, his first time with the Toros, as always see Jack in practice, a smile on his face as he works with a great keeper class that have all joined to the Toros. Again, all 4 keepers on the roster for Cal State Dominguez Hills, all new this season. Keegan O'Brien, who has, of course, gotten the majority of the time. Tiago Menezes, the freshman, who has already gotten 1 game, and that was the last one versus Cal Poly Humboldt, as Davian looking for a way through, trying to find his way out of the corner now, as he finds a nutmeg, trying to force his way through, and was pressured down. Looks like he wanted a foul, as Merced trying to rush back the other way, as it will be stolen right back by Vestesen. D4 tries to give it back, and pressure out in front from Carlos Miranda, the sophomore forward. As the home crowd really getting behind that ball control from Nicolas, as a cross will end up right back at the feet of the Toros. Polatron right back up the wing. Under 17 minutes to go. And again, back to the keepers. Have, of course, seen the redshirt freshman in Keegan O'Brien getting the majority of time. Tiago, the freshman from Cerritos, California, getting his first full game for the Toros. And at the college level, just 5 days ago, Philip Pennell, the Briarcliff University transfer, the sophomore from Frankfurt, Germany, as that one moved towards the far side. And then last but not least, the senior in Jack Parker, getting his first time as a Toro. And again, what a stage to do it, seeing so many debuts this season and seeing so many debuts right here tonight in the home of the LA Galaxy, as the Toros setting up camp in the offensive side, looking to try and take a peek. Vestesen finding Nicolas again. Davian drops it back to Sergio Valenzuela. Back up to Vestesen. Has a little bit of an open lane now. A give and go, not connecting, as Jose Peredia thought Nicolas would break further towards the corner. That miscommunication will cost the possession, as Lucas Galarza, the freshman, who put away goal number 3. Again, had his college debut tonight and his first career goal, all in the same night, all on the same grand stage of Disney Health Sports Park. Now swapping back in, and it looks like Justin Cuevas will hop back out. As the Bobcats looking to try and advance forward. It's won quickly back by Polatron, and Toros take it Valenzuela to Nicolas. Now Brazeno trying to lead that one forward to Galarza. Pressure and close Valenzuela. Got it out. It will be dropped back by Bon. Galarza looking for room, and you can see the Toros a little bit congested on that far wing. Bon trying to create room. Valenzuela has option, goes over to Jinyu. He's got space. Vestesen to his right. Will end up pushing it up to Nicolas, who leads Peredia. Peredia in the corner trying to cut inside, look for support. Soon it's in the box, is taken away, and D4 Jinyu storms through a Bobcat, and that UC Merced player is down. As out in front, Jack Parker batting it away from an attacker. Another Bobcat down, still no fouls called. Play resumes, as it will be booted away, and finally a whistle will be blown, as again there was multiple players down, as it looked like Carlos Miranda went down initially for the Bobcats, and in the box over on the other side, back up and onto his feet. That looks like Jose Ontiveros, the freshman from Merced, collided with Jack Parker on the attempt, and Parker doing well to go up and get that ball. As it looks like more substitutions ready to go, and more players getting their first time in the match. Junior getting ready to go back in, as well as George Charles Jr., a.k.a. Kiyoki, will hop in with Steve Gonzalez, as won't go in quite yet, but set to go in. Kiyoki, the senior from Las Vegas, Nevada, and Steve Gonzalez, the freshman from Redondo Beach. As it looks like a foul called on the far side, and it will result in a free kick for UC Merced. And now a good chance for the Bobcats. 13 minutes to go. Only 2 in the wall for Cal State Dominguez Hills. And now it's a fake. This one fired towards the back post side. The header off target. And now the substitutions will come in. Again, Junior, Gonzalez, and Kiyoki all on the pitch. And substitutions on the UC Merced side as well. Jake Perkins will hop back in. Omar Garcia jumping in as well. And it looks like another being Eduardo Zamudio, the junior from Turlock, Merced College transfer, getting his first time in. So a lot of substitutions for either side, 3 for each. As just over 12 and a half minutes is where the clock will be stopped. And looks like Coach Eddie Soto using the full depth of his bench in this matchup, as it has been insane to see all the players getting time in this match, and usually haven't seen anything like this from the Toros. Again, the Toros are a 32-man roster, and speaking of 32, wearing it on his back, Lucas Galarza trying to force his way forward as the sun sets behind Dignity Health Sports Park. Lights starting to come on and shine down to the pitch. But again, 32 players on the roster for Cal State Dominguez Hills, and we have only yet to see 8 as the lights will crank up now, casting shadows down on the pitch, and a beautiful sight here as another takeaway. And it looks like another substitution I missed, as only 7 players we haven't seen. That's Matar Moskowitz, the sophomore Cal Poly Pomona transfer. And it looks like another substitution getting ready to go for the Toros. And another new player we haven't seen, as it's Alex Climaco, the senior from Santa Rosa, who's ready to check in. The throw in from Merced. Bobcats still trying to pressure down everything they can, but the Toros have just been holding tried and true here in this second half. Going into halftime, we very well could have seen either avenue taken by Coach Soto and the Toros, whether that be stepping on the gas even further, trying to add on more and more goals, or really just leading heavily into keeping the defense solid. And that has been the case entirely, as the Toros only, again, 1 shot in the entire half so far, 35 minutes in, but haven't needed to put up more with a 3-goal deficit in your favor. And the Bobcats, despite their pressure, they only have 1 shot registered as well, as Galarza trying to hang on to this one, having to retreat through, and possession will be given up as Merced trying to look for an option. Shot will sail high and wide as Climaco will jump in. Again, this just being the first match of the night here on the Flow College Sports Network and here at Dignity Health Sports Park. Again, is a UC Merced Cal State Dominguez Hills soccer doubleheader, as, of course, less than 10 minutes left to go in the men's game, and then at 7 p.m. we'll see the women's game start up, and that'll be another good contest between the reigning Cal Pac champs, both men's and women's soccer, for the Bobcats, having that honor and going toe-to-toe with Cal State Dominguez Hills in a CCAA matchup. But again, so many players getting time in this one. Seen 26 players on the pitch for Cal State Dominguez Hills. And that is easily the highest number we've seen. As, of course, you pick up a solid 3-goal lead, and you're going to have those options to go anywhere you want. And Coach Soto getting some of those players who may not get a ton of time regularly. And, of course, what an honor it is to play here on the venue of the pros, as Vestessen, a great takeaway, gives it to Peredia. Peredia running out of room, trying to work it back forward to Mateo. He does, and a body check there. And our first booking of the matchup, and that'll go to Edwin Casillas. A huge contact made with Rocco Bond as he was sent to the far side, and another substitution as Salvador Plancarte, the senior, will swap back in, and it looks like Casillas will jump out. So Casillas jumping out and picking up the first booking of the matchup. Vestessen dropping it back off rip to Kiyoki, sitting at that right back position. Again, seen a ton of substitutions. Nearly the entire pitch changed for the Toros since the starting looks. Do have some key looks still in. Bond keeps it. Inbounds now, getting stormed, but still works through towards the corner. Gets it to Vestessen, and a nutmeg from Vestessen. The cross will be taken away, but some great ball control from the Toros, and it looks like a foul called. 23 and 33 working in unison down to the corner. Rocco Bond and Mateo Vestessen sweeping through the Bobcats in the corner as Jack Parker booms this one away into the seats on the far side. Less than 7.5 minutes to go. The Toro still staying steady as this one knocked past the net. It'll fall right back to Parker. Again, what a showing already from Cal State Dominguez Hills. We said it after half number one. Regardless of what happens, it has been an incredible night for Cal State Dominguez Hills. Not only the 25th anniversary of their national title under Joe Flanagan, but also happening on the annual stadium matchup in a big conference matchup against a team they have not faced before. As a great move, and a cross maybe out in front, as just taken away it was from Peredia. Calvillo got there in time. Now rips it away. And the Toros setting back, trying to move upfield. It's taken away by the Bobcats. But again, Dominguez Hills, even though still pushing downfield, still locking things down defensively. And now Galarza almost finds his way through. It was a great pass as the Toros still trying to win it forward in the opposing half. The Bobcats looking to find another way forward, and you can tell that all these players fatigued as a bit of a late whistle, but the foul is called on Climaco. End up being a free kick just in front of the midfield line with 5 minutes and change left to go. Again, sky continues to darken as heavy contact, and a foul is going to be called on Keoki out in front, and that'll give a huge free kick chance for UC Merced. Just a couple meters out in front of the box. And what very well could be one of the best looks. Again, only 3 shots from the Bobcats in this matchup, and multiple players getting set in front of us. Carlos Miranda, Jake Perkins. Sitting in front of it, and it looks like as well seeing Omar Garcia, and who will be the one to take it? A fake. Garcia fakes, and now this one thrown way up over top the net by Miranda. And just like that, that chance by the wayside for the Bobcats. Again, a beautiful scene here in Carson, California. Just west of the Dominguez Hills campus, as looks like heavy contact there as Jose Peredia holding his head down on the pitch, and Trainer's going to come out immediately, and that is tough to see, as in the very last bit of this matchup, under 4 minutes to go, Peredia, the junior from Torrance, was the highest scoring of all the returners from last year to this year, and now getting checked out by the Trainers. Head coach Eddie Soto out to check on his forward as he's back up, but it looks like he will exit here. Is walking off on his own weight and is going to continue to get checked out by Trainers, as Cameron Belandres, the other junior forward, the Cal State Monterey Bay transfer, will jump in his place. Moskowitz lobs it up, and immediately it's taken away. Climaco in hot pursuit. The Bobcats rushing forward. The Toros trying to complete the shutout, but need to stave off another attack. Rolling shot collected by the senior Jack Parker. So Jack Parker not only getting his first time, but picks up his first save as a Toro, and still threatening up front are the Bobcats as Keoki rips it up to Bon. Bon has Climaco. Climaco drops it back again. Huge cross from Vestesin, and that'll head all the way to the opposite side of the box. Gathered up by Calvillo. Just about 3 minutes to go for the Toros to try and, again, claim this victory. Again, what a day it's been. Last season in the annual stadium match, it was a 3-3 tie with Cal State San Bernardino. Year before that, in 2023, it was a 1-1 tie with the Cal State LA Golden Eagles, as heavy collision here as Keoki down momentarily. No foul called. And then, of course, the year before that, back in 2022 versus Sonoma State, a 2-1 win. Then heading all the way back to 2021 was the last time the Toros lost here at Dignity Health. It was an 0-3 loss to Cal Poly Pomona. But again, won in 2022, and now 2 minutes away from tallying another win here inside this beautiful stadium. As this shot goes right, it'll fall back to Parker. As he will take his time setting it inside the box again. This venue being the home of the 2024 MLS Cup champs in the LA Galaxy, as another heavy collision on that side. It will stay with the Bobcats. Less than 90 seconds remaining for the Bobcats to try and push themselves forward and at least try and find one goal before this match concludes. But you can see the fatigue on the side of UC Merced as Jack Parker diving on that one, not letting anything through. Final minute here at Dignity Health Sports Park. Parker lobs it back forward. Galarza fighting for it. It will be won again by UC Merced. Kiyoki tumbling over, winning that one forward again. Galarza trying to force his way in. Climaco helps him out. It'll fall back to Belandres, who retreats to Moskowitz and Kiyoki. Now Vestessen at that right back spot. It will be lost by the Bobcats as got the clean interception but couldn't keep it in play. And Vestessen stifling his throw in, lobs it forward, put a little bit middle. Now will be kept forward by Moskowitz. Instead, just forces it out again, and that'll bring us to the final 10. Cal State Dominguez Hills, a huge win on a huge night. A new season high in goals, a 3-0 shutout for the Toros here in Dignity Health Sports Park. What a win for the Toros.